engaged.
This is the best it's gonna get. This is the best it's gonna get.
TeamSpeak. Flexible, powerful, crystal clear voice communication on any platform.
First match, we're going to have largely the same thing. Actually, well, you'll notice a huge difference here, though, and it'll be interesting to see how effective this is. Again, Cap, is the removal of VS.
Yeah, absolutely. There's something to notice about when you were first talking about the versatility of their game. You were talking about term plug and play. What's really interesting is when the first two games of the pre-qualifiers, we saw them actually running either Furion or Broodmother. They set up their ban so they could get a first pick on either one of those heroes. And they're actually banning, they actually choose to ban Furion and give up Night Stalker once again. So once again, they set up the game so they're like, here, you can have a Night Stalker. Go ahead, take it. We don't think he's that powerful. And then hopefully, same thing will happen last game. They thinking they're just going to set up and just win the early game so hard so that first nighttime, Night Stalker's down, and they're just going to keep their advantage over and over and over again. But yes, you're right. Vengeful Spirit being banned, great ban by the Western Wolves. And so instead opting to pick up Crystal Maiden, just another great teamfight hero, supporting hero that's going to be on that carry. I wonder if we're going to still see a Skeleton King since Andromeda, excuse me. Oh man, Vengeful Spirit is down.
All right. Well, I mean, what'll be interesting to see, yeah, is like you said, Skeleton King. And honestly, without Vengeful Spirit, you think about it, that takes a good deal of scalability away from this lineup. A good deal. I mean, you've got a damage aura, you've got minus armor. I mean, I really feel like a VS is honestly one of the most crucial, you know, if not the most crucial. Obviously, you know, if you ignore Shen, you can't really do this without Shen. But VS really is such a great pick, and it's a little, it's going to be interesting to see how they can bounce back from that. But I also want to just, I know like people like to know the representation of each team. So I guess Western Wolves is recently changed their name from Shakira, I believe, but they're from France, so we got Europe in the house also, and obviously, as you guys remember from last game, the Team Fire are Dire. They are they're North American. So France versus America, round one, fight.
Yeah, and before anybody calls out favoritism, the biggest thing is we love underdogs. So it doesn't matter if you're from Europe, if you're from Asia, if you're from North America, if you're from South America, it doesn't matter. If you're the underdog, chances are I'm going to root for you.
Yeah,
because I
no
love
doubt.
seeing the scene being shaken up by new strategies, new teams, new players.
Who doesn't?
That's what I love about Dota.
Absolutely, and these guys are like I pointed out last time, probably one of the only unsponsored teams in the game, and that's going to be the final pick. So again, the only difference between their lineup, Team Fire's lineup, this game and last game is the VS is gone, been replaced by Crystal Maiden. And as far as the other team, it looks pretty similar as well. We'll see if maybe they have the same even middle lane, but it's going to be. Well, you want to go over the lineups?
Yeah, absolutely. You got
Night Stalker.
Sorry.
Night Stalker.
I don't know what I'm calling out player names for. Night Stalker, Tidehunter, Ancient Apparition, Venomancer, and Shadow Fiend on the Radiant side. And then over on the Dire side, you got Shadow Shaman, Chen, Omni Knight, Crystal Maiden, and Skeleton King for Team Fire. And first thing that stands out to me, the Radiant side, as opposed to last game, the Radiant side has much more resiliency to the upcoming early game and pushes that are going to be happening from Team Fire.
Oh, absolutely. And the AoE from Nevermore is going to be, you know, absolutely crucial. As we have a pause here, I'm not sure what for. Let me ask. But yeah, the AoE from Nevermore, that was dearly lacking from the last game. Also, the not Kraken Shell, but Anchor Smash is also going to be pretty useful in lane and to push back waves. But we'll see. This game, again, is really going to come down to, it's just going to be a race. It's going to be a race to push towers, a race to push racks in before a certain minute point. And if they can't do that, then I honestly, I really like Western Wolves' lineup because first of all, they can push as well. Don't get me wrong; they're decent at pushing, and they scale. They're not so late game like our previous game. These guys aren't so massively late game that they're just almost completely useless mid game. Nevermore, he doesn't actually scale amazingly well. He doesn't scale amazingly well which makes him therefore a better mid game. He's got amazing farming, and he's so this is kind of an early mid game team on Fire versus more of a mid game team on Western Wolves. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, Shadow Fiend not really a hero that we see a whole lot in competitive games right now.
No.
And another thing is it's tournament mode. Just like you mentioned last game, tournament mode. Shadow Fiend did get a buff in the latest patch. He got an extra 2 souls to his Necromastery, which isn't a whole lot, but it does help. It does help in the laning phase. You do get that 4 extra damage, and then also helps with the Requiem of Souls. So all around, that's just that little extra buff that might see him a lot more in competitive play. But this is tournament mode, so this is pre-buff.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see. But they're clearly Western Wolves is set up in order to fight back against this push-oriented team that Team Fire has. And the team fight potential on Western Wolves is just great. You've got a Tidehunter ultimate. Hopefully he's going to be able to hit really great ultimates, because on top, you're just going to set up Ancient Apparition ultimates, Shadow Fiend ultimates, and then on top of that, Venomancer and Night Stalker just going to be running around, slowing people down, knocking them out of the team fights before they even know what's happening. So that's the big thing that I see for Western Wolves, as opposed to last game where Mouse Sports just had a little bit too late game oriented, didn't have enough anti-push, didn't have enough team fight. Western Wolves is clearly set up in order to take down Team Fire.
Yeah, and what's especially important to point out, boys and girls, is that there's a specific combo that they should probably be looking to do here, which is obviously Leviathan ult, which we're going to start up here soon. And you can set that up, obviously, and you can follow it up with a Night Stalker silence on Omni Knight, and that's huge. They had no mechanic to do that last game. They had no real good mechanic to negate somebody, to negate one big, spellcaster. They had no good initiation, and they have that this game. So keep an eye on that for team in mid-late game team fights, is how they can pretty much prevent Omni Knight from really being that useful during a team fight. But we're underway now, and let's do what I always do when we start a game. Let's go over to the players and who they're playing. So for the Radiant being the Western Wolves team from France, we've got how do you even say that?
I've been calling him Sucking Mad whenever I see him.
Sucking Mad? Okay, on Tidehunter. You said Sucking Mad?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just 7 sucking, and I didn't really want to spam the F word every single time I could,
Well, no, we're not going to do that, obviously. He's going to be on our Tidehunter. Funzy on Night Stalker. Socksha on Shadow Fiend. Danny on Venomancer. And Phoenix on Ancient Apparition. And if you would do the honors for the Dire.
Absolutely, and then over on the Dire side, I'm going to have to go over this fast because
you
might see action at bottom. Fluffing stuff on Chen. I love Daisy on Skeleton King. TC on Shadow Shaman. Hannah Montana on Omni Knight. And IX Mikes once again on the Babysitter Crystal Maiden.
Indeed.
So, and I'm bottom.
Bottom.
Look at this tri-lane. There is no clear farmer. Obviously, it should be, in my opinion, it would be Tidehunter. In the beginning, but there's no typical tri-lane where you see a carry to support. That is not this tri-lane. It is an extremely aggressive, we're going to win this lane tri-lane that could potentially roam to middle when needed.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see, we're just going to see so much action. And I have to worry, is Chen really going to be able to go into the jungle like that? Venomancer is obviously the biggest worry for Chen. He's going to be able to do a lot of damage if he finds him in the jungle, and I'm wondering, is it really worth it for Chen to attempt to jungle like this?
Well, he's going to walk into your ass haste. He's going to be able to easily counter ward. This is beautifully done already. They're not going to be able to respond in time, so already a good start for them. There's unfortunately one more ward for them that they're going to have to contend with down in the bottom lane, and yeah, so we're going to have that tri-lane. Actually, it's pretty much technically a dual lane, but with how much interaction Chen has in just directly. And there we go. We see it right there. I don't know if you guys just saw what Chen did. He used that ward to go ahead and grab the Soul Stealer, which, as you guys know, is mana burn. So who is going to be mana burning? We'll see. There's honestly not a lot of great targets. Obviously, you're going to want to probably mana burn Tidehunter over everybody else. But I really don't honestly see that being these. I mean, I'm sure he wishes they would have had a little bit different of a creep right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that Soul Stealer, Standard Soul Stealer is going to be pretty powerful. And they're actually going on it before the mana burn can do too much. Crystal Maiden is going to potentially go down here. A little bit more damage. A couple more auto attacks. He's going to go down for the first blood. Meanwhile, you have Standard Soul Stealer doing what he can. I think that was a big mistake by Team Fire. If they have the Soul Stealer, they should communicate the fact, hey, I've got a mana burn creep. If we just sit back for a while, I can take away their mana. There goes their offensive abilities. But instead, Western Wolves jumping into action the moment they see it's a bad creep. They go into action, they take down the Crystal Maiden, knowing there's no way for Team Fire to put a stop to that.
Yeah, you're not going to do a whole lot with mana burn to save your allies, and also, unfortunately, Crystal Maiden honestly was a little bit out of a position there, and also during that kind of ran in circles like he was juking juking a targeted something. I don't know, kind of a weird play there from Crystal Maiden. Hopefully he doesn't make any mistakes in the future, but we'll see. It's also interesting to note just the incredible slow theme that we have down bottom, triple slows, and decent nuking and decent just slowing, right-clicking. I mean, without Vengeful Spirit, it's incredibly clear who has a stronger lane down bottom right now. As we actually wait, we see Ursa. He actually grabbed an Ursa. He's gonna get a slow. Nice, he gets both of them. Nicely done. We'll see. Actually, Fluff gonna be out of position. He's gonna get attacked. Are they gonna trade here? They actually are gonna lose one first. Unfortunately, Chen goes down. They do trade one off. Their Venomancer goes down as well. Now Phoenix forced to retreat as well. IX Mike getting a little bit low, but this guy's a little bit out of position. We're going to have a stun here, maybe 140. No, he's not going to have enough stun. He's going to be able to freeze right there. IX Mike in a lot of danger. He's going to go down with that dot and the assistance from Phoenix. Nicely done. And 3-1. Very good play so far from Western Wolves down bottom.
I like it. Western Wolves are controlling their tri-lane so incredibly well, and they're just doing a great job. That was so crucial and for them to win the early game, win that early team fight. So Chen isn't going to be able to come out with big levels, and neither is Skeleton going to be a serious problem with his massive Hellfire Blast. So they're just controlling this tri-lane so hard. So when it comes up to that pushing point for Team Fire, they're going to be sorely missing some serious golden experience when it comes to those team fights.
Yeah, and this is literally the first time I've seen Team Fire be pushed with this strategy. So it's going to be extremely interesting to see how they can respond to this kind of pressure. I've seen them use this several times now, not only in competition but in scrims as well. And I've never really seen them be pushed before. So we'll see how they can actually bounce back, how they can respond. That's a really good indicator of how good a team is how they respond to pressure, how they respond to being down. We'll see how their mental toughness, if you will. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and take a look up top and see how this is going. It's a double melee fight. Obviously, slight advantage going to Hannah Montana for now. He doesn't have a... Oh, actually, here we go. He's going to turn it around. Nope. He's got no more mana, and he only has one clarity left. So if he's unable to farm any kind of a mana item quite shortly, he's probably going to end up losing this lane, but he should be well on his way.
He has a soul ring coming over right now. There's definitely
there you go.
18-0 Omni Knight. Meanwhile, Night Stalker doing a great job, 19-2 for him. He's obviously getting harassed a lot more. Omni Knight versus Night Stalker, you're going to get harassed, but he's doing a great job doing what he needs to do, getting creeps. That is all he cares about right now is CSing, right? And that's the biggest thing that's going on for that. Is actually Chen gets another counter ward down. They're countering yet another ward at that bottom. So, hey, that's great. You know you're losing the tri-lane. The only thing that's going to be able to help them is having Chen get great ganks in with great creeps, and that's pretty much the only saving grace for that tri-lane right now. So taking down that ward is going to be so crucial for that element of surprise coming up.
Indeed, a nice job pushing them both out of the lane there with that tornado. He's going to grab an Ursa now and head towards somewhere, head towards mid. Maybe he's going to fake back in now since he knows that there's really no wards up. Although actually there is a ward up, and let me see if that has vision.
Yes,
it does certainly have vision, yeah. So they do see him. They do know his general whereabouts. He's actually going to do what he does in jungle as opposed to lay the smackdown on in the lane. So as we see for the first time, is Fire not having any kind of lane control down bottom. They're just kind of subject to a superior lane.
Absolutely. I mean, it really sucks that their tri-lane is set up so Chen can't really be anywhere else at but bottom, because that means two heroes are just going to crush otherwise. Skeleton King and Crystal Maiden just get crushed without the Chen being there. Constantly, but at the same time, such an aggressive tri-lane can easily put a stop and gank a Chen in the jungle. And actually go on bottom. They're going to be able to go on the Skeleton King. I'm a little bit surprised they're going on him. Not going to be able to take him down. Actually using spells on Crystal Maiden, doing a bit of damage to him. Just spamming some mana. I think they're just going to be able to back up and heal. Ancient Apparition got really low, actually, from that Hellfire Blast. I'm actually really surprised he put himself in such a danger.
Yeah, well... It's a good single target stun, right?
Absolutely. As actually, we got a hasted 10 coming in. Unfortunately, no one is low anymore. Heals just went up, so unfortunately, there's nothing really that Chen can do. Just force them back with an Ursa Warrior. Actually, Skeleton King's coming in for the stun. They're going to be able to hit on the Tideheart Tender Hider, level 5 with 6 charges of power.
Oh,
nice. He's going to be able to heal up. No, he goes down. There goes the tankiest hero in that tri-lane. Great job by Team Fire picking up their tri-lane a little bit more.
Great coordination. You could definitely see how on the same level they were right there. As soon as the first target was identified being Tidehunter, I keep on wanting to say, or is it Leviathan? God.
Yes, it's Tidehunter.
Tidehunter.
You want to say Leviathan?
No, it's not what I want. I just don't. I don't know. I always feel like I'm saying the wrong name, no matter what. It's just really frustrating. But anyways, it was a good job right there. They actually they're gonna have a go here on Geo, which is I Love Daisy, which is a Skeleton King, but they're actually not gonna have a go. They're just gonna spit on him. But yeah, there's really nice coordination, doing what they need to do to get back into that bottom. We've got a dust or a smoke in the form of fluff and stuff running around towards mid. Although there's just no one to do. There's no one to gank it, unfortunately, because Saksha was forced to go back. Let's actually take a look at the CS in mid. TC, he's working with 32 and 14 versus 24 and 18 or 24 and 8. So actually, I mean, it's very clear winner in mid so far. We'll see if they can actually. Here we go. He actually TP's back in. We'll see if they can actually get a kill here. He is invisible. Nicely done. They're gonna set it up. He does have enough for Shackle. There it is. Shackle comes out. Should be enough. So comes the slow and the slow. That's gonna be enough there. Shackle. We do have a TP in. Oh, we have a nice ult from there. Nicely done. He's actually gonna save his ally, and they're gonna get 2 kills from this. Absolutely beautiful play there from Sucking Mad. Nicely done.
That was so beautiful. I mean, they had the presence of mind just to know that they needed to gank middle. Chen, missing from the jungle, had smoke on. There was no way they could have seen him smoke. I don't think they would have possibly seen him. No. So they just had the presence of mind to know, hey, there's probably a Chen gank coming up. And even though they have the ward set up to see it, just the possibility of Chen solo smoking, great play by Western Wolves. Great presence of mind. As actually looks like top Tidehunter heading his way up to top. Was going to try and gank, but he's going to back off now that Omni Knight is forced back. Omni Knight just going to be so hard to gank, and Night Stalker's got to be having such a tough time. I mean, like I said earlier, he was doing a great job CSing, now 34 and 2, but at the same time, Hannah Montana has picked up his game, and he is now 46 and 1, getting some serious CS at top, all around just forcing Night Stalker out of lane as much as possible, doing a great job with that heal.
Yeah, that's their only saving grace, really. Well, not their only saving grace. It's not like they've lost mid by any means. Actually, we're going to have a go on TC. He's going to get Gush right here. Is it going to be enough to do enough? No, nicely done. Good response from Team Fire. Now Sucking Mad is in danger as well of going down. Woo, nice heal there from Hannah Montana on the creep. And he's going to grab not 1, but 2 kills. 3 go down. Great, look at that. Just as we were praising Western Wolves for being heads up and responsive, look at what we see from Team Fire.
What a beautiful heal by Hannah Montana. That was great.
Wow.
Oh, man. Alright,
nice,
so now we got a full-on push, take a middle tower easily.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Team Fire, just that movement was just incredible, but meanwhile, knowing that 5 middle, Shadow Fiend pushing top as much as possible with his double damage, now backing off, knowing there's a potential gank coming on. And again, it's just got to be able to get that just enough farm so they can try and force team fights. Hopefully outside of the tower, as we've said a couple games, you know, the best thing to do about a Shadow Shaman is if you can initiate on him and force him, well, hopefully if you can kill him before he lays wards, but even so, initiating outside of the tower, that way you have the movement. Hey, if you have to back off, you can back off once those wards are down. You don't have to worry about a tower taking damage. That's going to be crucial for Team Western Wolves. But really, right now, they just need to be able to have enough CS and enough experience to be able to force those team fights.
Yeah, absolutely. We can see the actual huge shift right there. If you open up your difference in gold earned, it was a slight lead there from the Radiant, but after that great series of events right there from the Dire, they're back in the lead, hovering at about 1,000, which is honestly pretty much nothing, but still, it's a nice little turn of momentum, no doubt. As we've got 3 up top, V3 shortly in the form of Chen. He'll be there in a momentarily. Actually, they're gonna have it go on. They gotta be careful. They don't really realize it's 3 yet. Hannah Montana in danger now that he does not have his shield. He will be able to get out of there. Actually, we've got a nice response. We've got 4 up top from Team Fire. They're going to have to hold there on Funzy. He is going to go down. Nicely done there from Team Fire. Again, a nice response. And now we have the 4v3 advantage while SK is farming very nicely down bottom. Again, momentum in the favor of Team Fire.
Absolutely. I just love the skill build going on. Venomancer, knowing that there's a huge push going on. Plague Wards, maxing out Plague Wards is going to be so key to defending these Tier 2 towers. I don't think Tier 1 towers have a chance as bottom is being defended by him, but top is going to go down real easily here if Shadow Shaman wants to throw his wards, forcing the glyph. Great job by them. It looks like they're just going to back up and be able to push once again, this time laying the wards, hopefully.
Yeah, actually, let's go ahead and take a look at SK's farm, because that is very important for their overall strategy. You cannot ignore your scalability in this game. So it is up to 224. It was actually worse earlier on. But now actually we've got a 4v4 confrontation up top here shortly. They do not actually realize that it's 4v4 yet because they don't have a lane ward. So Teamfire has got to be careful here. These guys are just feeling each other out. Now they do actually see one exit, so they might feel a little bit more confident and push into that jungle knowing that not one but two are gone. So alright, so they're starting to disperse right now. If they do see Shoxa, he might be in a little bit of danger of going down here if they can get any form of initiation. They don't really have any good gap closers, unfortunately, and actually they almost have none. So, but if they can get it, oh, this is going to be a very, very dead, big misplay there. That was unfortunate. And are those wards even in range? They are. Wow, you don't get much more efficient than that. Honestly, it was a nice play. They're gonna get some more damage out on the in the lane, and just like that, they're gonna get a tower out of it.
Taking the tower. Just needs to tank the tower so those wards can finish up the tower. They can get that extra gold. But meanwhile, Western Wolves gank top, push middle. Hey, there's action going on somewhere else in some lane. We can't team fight. Hey, let's push middle tower, and hopefully they're gonna be able to do some damage. I don't think they're really gonna be able to take it, especially since Crystal Maiden. Maxing her Frostbite. I love her skill build right now. She got an extra level in Crystal Nova when it was the tri-lane, and now that there's team fights, now that they know, hey, we need the most amount of disables we can possibly get, she's maxing out her Frostbite. Meanwhile, the rest of her team getting Arcane Boots. Omnia Knight has Arcane Boots, Shadow Shaman has Arcane Boots, so she doesn't necessarily need that Frostbite at all. Now she can max out those two skills, which are arguably one of the most powerful support skills in the game. It's just a lot of times Frostbite is just that global effect is so key, or excuse me, Arcane Aura. Right. That global aura is just so key to a lot of strategies. Most people don't actually max out her skills. But choosing with these team fights, pushing down towers, maxing out those skills are going to be so important as we have a smoke going down. Chen, his creeps, and Crystal Maiden all smoked up. Shadow Shaman's going to lead the way, who's definitely visible. So yeah, but he's going to be able to bait some sort of action, but they're just surrounded.
Almost working in their favor, actually, since they just
going
see
on
one
Shadow
guy.
Fiend, Skeleton King already hitting the stun, slowing down that Shadow Fiend, but they're not going to be able to get a huge slow by Venomancer. And a Tide ulti going down. They're doing a huge massive amount of damage. Chen gets his ultimate off. They're almost going to take down Tide Hunter, but now they're just having to back up. Hey, ulti coming in, doing serious damage to that Skeleton King. He's trying to clean up the Shadow Fiend before he goes down with the Incarnate coming up. One more hit left on Shadow Fiend, but they can't get that. Still forcing the fight.
Oh, good block!
Huge block going down. So 2 down in exchange for a Chen. What a great play. That was still pretty decent initiation by Western Wolves. Tide Hunter had a great ulti. And still, even though that was a decent team fight for Western Wolves, Team R is definitely still in control of this game right now.
No doubt. Great team fight right there. Really good response. Nice ult from, I'm going to forget it again, Tide Hunter. Nicely done though. As it's 6-9 right now, actually extremely close. The gold still just hovering about 4,000 at not a whole lot, but it's starting honestly to creep in the favor of Team Fire. If they can keep this up, this game will look a little bit like the last one, I think. What you're noticing at this point that they don't have, that they honestly had by this point last game, is those push sticks, those force staffs, and those are really, really useful. And people are dying that wouldn't otherwise be dying without those. So you look out for those to be picked up here shortly, no doubt. Honestly, with the very difficult bottom lane they had at the start, you can see obviously that they're not getting those very fast. So we'll see if the team fights actually look way different after those, maybe 1, even 2 pop up on Team Fire.
Absolutely. Another thing missing is Chen. Below 200 gold per minute, he's actually hovering at 193 right now. He's not going to be able to get mech anytime soon. He went for that Arcane Boots, and that's going to be really crucial for their pushing, but also mech is going to be huge, and once he's able to pick up that, that'll be really helpful. But another thing that I'm hoping I'm going to see Skeleton King go for is Pipe. Pipe is going to be so incredibly important in these team fights where you have Tide Hunter, you have Shadow Fiend, you have Venomancer, you have all this magic damage bouncing around. A Pipe is going to be so key to get, and the hero to get it on is Skeleton King or Omni Knight, and I don't think Omni Knight is getting it. Looking at his items, he actually went for the Force Staff first, so...
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Actually, top Shadow Fiend is getting caught down. He's going to go down really easily. So once again, that BKB is just slowed down even more. He has the Ogre Club, and that's it. At 16 minutes, Treads Ogre Club, Wraith Band. That's just not enough. He really needs to be able to have that BKB so he can ult uninterrupted in those team fights. But actually, at bottom, Tidehunter's trying to force a tower at bottom, but unfortunately, Skeleton King going in, hitting his stun a little too early. I think he just probably should have harassed him, and then if Tidehunter ran away, but Tidehunter teleporting out. Great play by him. Tower is not deniable, so maybe they'll be able to take that tower for another day. So that would definitely be, if they can take a tower, that would be a huge for them. Any little bit of gold that they can get right now is so crucial because, hey, they're just Teamfire is going to snowball from here on out. If they keep their advantage, they control the farm, they're just going to be getting their teamfight items, and the teamfights are going to snowball. They're going to get more gold off of that, more towers, etc.
Yeah.
So right now is crucial. Any gold that Western Wolves can get right now is worth 10 times this amount later on.
Yeah, well, no doubt. Obviously, like we said, Team Fire, 5,000 gold in the lead. We need to mention the huge item pickup. Obviously, Blink Dagger on Shadow Shaman. I was talking earlier about no gap closer. Well, there it was, and that was the sole reason why they got that kill up top just not too long ago. That's going to be absolutely huge for picking off stragglers, people that are not with the rest of their group, and then that's all that they need. 4v5, they should easily have a team fight under the belt. So I really think with the addition of that Shadow Shaman Blink, it's going to be massive. Look what they're doing down bottom. They may or may not trade. No, they're not. We got 4 from Western Wolves down bottom. They do have great ward vision. Oh, but they dusted. Nicely done. Oh, it doesn't matter. Never mind. There's a sentry ward. They're well aware of the smoke. We'll see if
Someone's
they can
gonna get caught
try
out
and
here.
grab somebody. Fluff and stuff is coming in. Oh, they're going to single off. They've got Shoxa down bottom. Oh, no. Wow, bad positioning. Fluff and stuff gets caught out. Nicely done. And they're going to actually trade, though. I would say that's a good trade for Fire.
Yeah, really big miscommunication by Team Fire. I think Fluff and stuff was assuming, hey, let's try and get as many as we can. And I think the rest of his team, especially Shadow Shaman, was going, hey, let's just pick out the Shadow Fiend. We know he's farthest behind. We can pick him up. But still, that was a great pickup, grabbing that Shadow Fiend. Chen is going to be up, and I don't think he did blow his ultimate, so he's going to be able to be there. He'll have that global for that upcoming team fight.
Yeah, he's
so
there.
At least he'll have that. And all this massive amount of creeps.
Of course.
Really, Chen's not that important. Once you have 3 creeps and you have a global, that's all that matters.
Yeah, no doubt.
But Western Wolves just trying to keep back the push as much as possible. The fact that they got that Chen was so important because they just need a little bit more time until nighttime. That's going to be huge.
Oh yeah,
Night
they're almost
Stalker
there.
Has phase boots, has Urn of Shadows. He doesn't have incredible amount, but also Team Fire not in such a huge lead. Night Stalker can still pick off the squishier of the heroes.
Yeah, absolutely. And we should also keep an eye out for how Omni Knight is able to maybe, I don't know, get silenced by Night Stalker. Let's see what, I mean, Leah, double check the gold here on Tidehunter. He has 1,100 gold right now. If he can get a blink, these team fights are gonna dramatically shift in how they just happen. We're gonna have a nice initiation. Here we go. We got a blink on TC. Nicely done. Oh my God, I love what they just did right there. I just love that mechanic. He can blink in, he can disable people, and they can't do a damn thing about it. I love that strategy.
Yeah, that is pretty strong. I love another thing coming out. Team Fire really aggressive wards, as you see. Crystal Maiden put that ward up at top lane while Skeleton King was farming, so there's no chance there was going to be any sort of surprise gank. They have really aggressive middle wards and even a jungle ward as well. And it looks like now they're going to take the Roshan, and it doesn't look like Western Wolves knows or can really do anything about it with a Shadow Fiend down. They're just going to take down that Roshan too fast. They know now.
Yeah, they're
really Western Wolves got to back up and farm. They really can't force that fight 4-on-5.
No, they can't. They're definitely going to get the first of many. That's going to be, again, Team
Might
Fire
be able to take
first
mid-tower
wash.
in exchange for it, though. Night Stalker, the fastest of the group, taking it in the TC, trying to blink it and get it denied. Nice thought process, but unfortunately it didn't work.
Wow, yeah,
But
just
hey,
very
tower,
efficient.
That's great.
Yeah, no, like you said, very efficient, very effective, and very smart play there from Western Wolves, doing everything they can possibly can to just to equalize. Obviously, you don't want to just do nothing while all 5 of the team is busy killing Rosh. You want to do something. And they got a tower and they're farming as well. So we've got more farm. No, not more farm. He must have finished an item unless he has one. Well, there's a Vanguard. I guess that's worth mentioning. There's a Vanguard on Tidehunter. Let's actually go over some items. Let's open up the item pane. I think it's F5 or something. We've got Saksha obviously working towards his BKB. Like I said, the Vanguard, I'm going to forego the blink. We got the Vanguard on Tidehunter. We're going to have a nice smoke.
He's trying to teleport.
Oh.
Maiden missing out on a huge potential kill.
Dire's
Sorry,
bottom
keep
tower
going.
is under
And I
attack.
guess the most other noteworthy items, honestly, is we've got 2 4-staffs in the mix now
Dire's
from
bottom
Team
tower
Fire.
is
We've got one on
under
Hannah
attack.
Montana and a second on Skeleton King. So we'll see how effective they can use those now. This is honestly, they've kind of reached their core. They've kind of reached their mid game. This is where they're the strongest with these 4-staffs. We'll see if they can do anything. The only real problem is with this strategy is that they don't benefit in trading towers. So they are at the beck and call of Western Wolves should Western Wolves push. They have to respond. They can't just be like, oh, we're going to trade, we have the better late game. No, you have to not only take towers, you have to prevent the other team from getting towers. So that's kind of an interesting dynamic there.
Yeah, absolutely. Skeleton King just farming up the jungle. It looks like Western Wolves pushed out middle a little bit, back up, farm the jungle. Shadow Fiend trying to get back his souls that he keeps losing every single time he dies. He is just sorely hurt, and he's about to pick up the 1600, I forgot what the item was called, but for BKB. So hopefully he can get a little bit closer to that BKB as regen's going to be picked up on Shadow Shaman. Now Drum of Endurance on Shadow Shaman as well. And,
oh, we got Fluff getting caught all
also
by himself.
Medallion. Oh no, Fluff.
Trying to block himself. Oh, it's nighttime with haste. It doesn't matter. He's going to go. He's got haste. He's got assistance. Doesn't matter. He's got haste. They're going to freeze. Can they get enough? No, the heal actually missed. That was unfortunate. And now there's a speeding. Oh my gosh. Ix Mike going to go down. He's got their shield. It doesn't matter. Funzy is in danger as well, but are they going to be able to get to? No, the ult comes out from Hannah Montana. They're good to fight for the next few seconds at least. Stun comes out on Phoenix. Where did Night Stalker run off to? He's been forced away actually. Now the TP is going to come out. Not going to be quick enough. That was about as best of a case of a scenario as you could possibly have there. As they actually only ended up losing one, just Chen.
Dire's top
Unless there was a
tower
buyback.
Night Stalker. His presence of mind, once again, taking a tower. Oh, double push stick on Skeleton King in order to try and chase that Night Stalker. That was pretty funny looking. But in middle, actually, there's Shadow Shaman is taking out the Shadow Fiend. There it goes. He gets the final Aftershock in order to get that kill. That is going to be huge. Keeping down, once again, that BKB for so long. He picked up the Mithril Hammer, but he still is missing the 1300 for the recipe. His Shadow Shaman is in serious trouble. He's going to teleport. Great teleport by TC right after the Void Nuke went down. Unfortunately, that leaves his wards to be able to farm. They're going to pick up a lot of gold from that.
And almost get a kill. Wow.
Oh, AA ulti trying to snag him in the fountain, but way too late.
All right, well, 8-15, guys. 24 minutes in, and the gold has, honestly, it's pretty much just plateaued. It has not really moved from about 5,000, and that is honestly a problem. Their games have pretty much just been this downward snowball slope. So we'll see. We'll see if they can actually end up winning this. As it continues to get later and later in game, they're going to have a stun there. He is really tanky, though. I like how he's positioning himself, baiting stuns, baiting attacks. It's really nice play. If you can bait the stuns, bait enough stuns, then you got a Night Stalker to go in there as well. Night Stalker going to come in. Who's he looking for? Oh, look at that. They're going to switch. They got Night Stalker off on the side. Is there going to be enough? Stun is up in 1 second. Going to be enough. He is quite tanky, actually. But that doesn't matter. 2 are dead, and they're going to easily get this tower. Great team fight there from Team Fire.
Yeah, Western Wolves really can't be playing that game of chicken when they have Shadow Fiend just farming bottom. I would presuming what's going on in their vent right now is Saksha is going, guys, I gotta have my BKB. You don't understand. Don't force team fights without me. And so he's just gonna be pushing bottom as much as possible. But look at this massive creep wave coming in. Skeleton King still has Aegis, still has his ult. They're going to be able to force a great team fight here once Night Stalker is back up. Hopefully they're going to be able to defend, but is it going to be in time? The tower is just taking so much damage right now. It's just way too much coming out from Team Fire.
Finally, the team comes in. It's like he was trying to walk it the whole time. If he would have just TP'd instead of literally walking to get the rune. I'm talking about Nevermore, actually. He went to go pick up a bottled rune and walked half the way back. If he would have TP'd, they would not have lost that tower. That was actually a big loss to them, losing that tower. It's only 25 minutes in still, so we'll see if we'll see. It doesn't matter though. He has his BKB. Unless he miraculously dies between now and like 100. No, he has it. There we go. So he has his BKB. That is actually a humongous pickup. They were unable. Team Fire was unable to prevent him from getting it. Actually, we can see Ix might go down here. This seems to be like a problem they're having. After every push, they've got to make sure that everybody is extracted, if you will. They seem to be leaving people behind.
Yeah, they seem really set on avoiding bad team fights, and which with an Aegis and a Skeleton King still having his ultimate up, you would think they would be willing. Hey, if they chase, we can turn around. But I don't know. It just seems very passive of them. Hey, when we back up, it's okay to lose a kill or two. And
look at mid, look at mid.
Night Stalker, he's gonna try and pop the ultimate. There goes that.
Oh well.
But it's just the ultimate. It's not the Aegis. Ultimate goes first, so he's gonna have that for another 3 minutes. That's gonna be down. But other items to pick up, BKB now on Shadow Shaman. So who needs Repel when you have BKB? That's a huge pickup for him.
Oh,
I'm just really surprised that they didn't go pipe. That's the typical mindset in competitive plays. If you're going to be forcing team fights a lot, you get mech pipe. It's just, you see it all the time, and I'm really surprised that one of their heroes, I usually say Omni Knight, is getting it, but it doesn't look like he's finally got Headdress and Ring of Hell, so maybe he's going to be able to do something about that finally.
Well, yeah, especially now, it'll be more useful than ever to have a pipe with that BKB. He's going to be able to get some decent ults off. He hasn't really gotten any decent ults off so far, so he'll be able to do it. It's obviously all magic damage, so that pipe would have been useful, but we'll see. A great addition, like you said, of a BKB on our Shadow Shaman is that, you know, you're going to obviously be able to repel someone else, repel your carry, for example, and, you know, that's really going to help their scalability. He essentially has a BKB now. He essentially just farmed a BKB because someone on his team who really needed Magic Repel has a BKB, so that's going to help. It's also worth mentioning that he does have his newest item pickup is an armlet, so he's able to actually pump out some damage. That's going to help out immensely in team fights. So we'll see. We'll see. The next team fight is going to be a brand new dynamic, a team fight we've not seen so far because of these BKB pickup, and obviously, well, actually just BKB pickups in general. The BKB pickups is really going to change this stuff for, I think, the better for Western Wolves.
Absolutely. I mean, every single time Skeleton King hits a critical, it's a 300 damage nuke, pretty much. Every single time he hits a critical, that's how much damage he's doing right now. Once he turns on Armlet, it's just so powerful.
Absolutely. Well, we've had just him by himself up top. We'll see what they're doing. I don't know. It seems like maybe everybody's just waiting. I don't know what they're waiting for. I mean, they have an Aegis. It seems like they should be the ones forcing the team fight. We really need to blink on somebody to try and find somebody. You know, he's gonna go ahead and kill the fake one. The real one is over to the left a little bit farther. And this looks like it. It looks like they're gonna go ahead and do a push here. Let's see what the cooldown. We got 80 seconds left on the ult from Skeleton King. He does have his Aegis of the Immortal up and ready. This should be in time. Nicely done. They're gonna have an ult. They're gonna catch Tide. If they can chain this down before he gets an ult, this is gonna be absolutely huge. Oh, that was very, very lucky of them that he did not pop his ult right there. Wow, that's unfortunate. They needed more. That is going to be a huge... Wow, that would have been absolutely huge if they could have gotten that kill right there.
Yeah, that was really poor chaining by Team Fire. That would have been so huge
bad.
if they picked up a Tidehunter, but it looks like they might be able to take a melee rag anyway. Question is, Western Wolves, normally you would force the team fight here, but they really do it. Shadow Fiend popping his BKB, he's breathing it right in the middle of a Tidehunter, hitting a huge ultimate on top of it. Unfortunately, Shadow Fiend ulti didn't do so much. BKB on the closest heroes, Tidehunter is going to go down. Meanwhile, Night Stalker's trying to track down Chen, but he can't. He's going to have to back up.
Oh, big
apparition, no health. Big old critical on Skeleton King. He's trying to chase down. Now they're going to back down, take the ranged rocks, and just back up now. As it's a 1-for-1 trade. Is that a 1-for-1 trade? No, 0-for-1 trade.
Yeah, no one died.
And so on top of that, they're taking rags. Team Fire doing great.
Yeah, look at this. We've still got 2 lives left. Maybe he can get some crits out and do some real damage here. There we go. He's good to TP out now if he should so desire. There we go. You got. But now see his team. God, this is their problem. This is their one and only problem. Is after they have a successful push, they leave stragglers behind. He's gonna get TP'd out. Nicely done. He's gonna be like, he's just gonna mess with him. DD is up. Oh, he denies the DD and no more nighttime. So nicely done. Good push, and they got the racks. I also want to mention that last team fight. The ult did come out. It was actually pretty deep between. I'm not going to remember this, but Tidehunter and Nevermore, Shadow Fiend. But the problem was that Shadow Fiend pretty much would have blown up 2 people, except that they were both magic immune. It was beautifully done by Team Fire. It was literally, he was on top of 2 people. It was the BKB'd Shadow Shaman and obviously the repelled Skeleton King. And his ult did next to nothing that team fight. It was amazing to watch. And he went down extremely quickly after he got his ult off. It did absolutely nothing. So he was a non-issue. The question is, are they going to be able to get kind of lucky with that dynamic next time? Are they going to be able to count on basically Nevermore being a non-issue? Because he's been literally a non-issue in every team fight so far. Every team fight he has not participated.
Yeah, something you mentioned a while back. Hunter going blink.
Oh
He didn't
God,
actually
here
go
it is,
blink.
down
Oh
bottom.
no, Shadow Fiend once again.
Again, oh my
Getting
God.
caught out. He's going down. That is.
Go ahead.
They just keep getting caught over and over and over again. Last time it was Tidehunter. This time it was Shadow Fiend. It just can't keep happening. But going back to Tidehunter's items, actually going Vanguard and Hood of Defiance, and I see what he's thinking. Tidehunter going, okay, they're jumping on us. There's not really a whole lot I can do to stop them. If I can tank it up, if I can go in there and take up enough damage, and then still be able to get off my ultimate and everything else, instead of just relying on a blink, you know, that's an idea for when they're initiating you, but at the same time, Team Fire is still passively pushing. They're not forcing fights that they don't really want. They're just sitting back, taking towers, taking racks, so that means Tidehunter has to get some sort of initiation. He can't let them set up all their wards, all their team fight, everything going on. So he just has to walk in and try and hit a good ulti, and that gives Team Fire plenty of time to back up, spread out, and do what they need to do. You know, pop their BKBs, because you know Shadow Fiend and Tidehunter set off their ult at the exact same time. Typically, you would see Tidehunter hit his ult for that 1 second of time, done. Shadow Fiend is setting himself up for a nice, really big ulti, but unfortunately that didn't. Shadow Shaman jumping in on the Venomancer. He's going to take down that hero so quickly. Omni Knight going, ulti going off. Shadow Fiend's going to try and hit a big ulti. Repel's going out. Nobody going down to a Shadow Fiend ulti.
No, same thing.
Absolutely nothing. Tidehunter gets knocked down, and now they're going to be able to take mid-rack.
No, that was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful, the way that they're spreading around their repel. They made sure it was perfect. They made sure not to initiate, because I don't know if you noticed, but they kind of initiated. They kind of started the push with repel on Shadow Shaman, which is obviously redundant if you have, you know, a shrunken, not shrunken, but a BKB. So they waited. I was watching the cooldown of Omni until they could repel, and the second that they got repel on Skeleton King, Shadow Shaman blinked in, and that was pretty much all she wrote. But wow, another impressive win here, this time against an even bigger opponent, Western Wolves. Team Fire really putting on a show so far.
Yeah, absolutely. The underdogs just making their way through the professionals. As you said, they're not sponsored. They're not a professional team quite yet. But I suspect after this tournament, they're going to be getting several offers.
Yeah, well, all right. Once again, I want to point out, everybody, that in between games, our next break, we're going to be giving out 3 more beta keys. So if you have not memorized this and bookmarked this by now, go ahead and do so. www.dota2replays.org/live. That not only has our IRC right there embedded, but it also has this stream. So if you're not watching from there, go ahead and do so. Also, shout out to all the community websites who have been very just kind, and you know, everybody's just kind of on the same team, kind of help the Dota scene in general. It's been very nice so far. So shout out to just Join Dota, Go to Gamers, even Yield, Feel the Thrill, helping out a little bit, gotta say. But just shout out to everyone. We feel the love, and shout out to all the tons of viewers that we have right now. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. We're gonna have obviously one final push. Really don't see this going any other way than Team Fire so far.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the final clutches, the final final death spasms of Western Wolves.
Yeah,
as Skeleton King farming up Ancients. Everybody just farming up a little gold before they get that final death tell at bottom.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually, while you entertain, I'm gonna actually see if I can pull up the bracket and see if we know what the next match is gonna be.
Alright, absolutely. Skeleton King now picking up Monkey King bar. Now he's hitting like a boss. Vlad's now on Chen just to help out that Skeleton King in whatever way he can. Even Omni Knight's going to be appreciative of that. Scythe of Vice on Shadow Shaman. Can you say crowd control? Way too much. Skeleton King now going on Venomancer. Look at him just gobbling him up. Not enough criticals coming out. Oh, so sad. And he's going to have another stun, but not going to be able to chase. Too slow for him. Shadow Shaman actually taken down with Omni Knight, taking down the Shadow Fiend. Shadow versus Shadow. Fiend is always going down. All right. Look at that ultimate. What a boss.
Nicely done. Well, I do not know, but I do know which of the two teams, obviously, are going to be facing Team Fire here shortly. It's either Isahara or, I want to say Dignitas. Dignitas being huge, just top 3 in the world on Gosu Gamers. And you know, if you can even put up a fight against Dignitas, then my hat is off to you, Team Fire. But we'll see. Also,
Bottom tower
I've been requested, and not requested, it's been decided that we're going to talk about it. We're going to have a nice little 4-staffing. Wow, big Chris, nicely done, taking him out in a matter of seconds. Geo just doing work. Good play there so far from Silicon King this late in the game. He does have an ult up. He's behind enemy lines. Holy crap. He's rather big, though. He's got 4-staff up. He's going to come up here. We'll see if he can actually get a team. It doesn't matter. Meanwhile, his team is finishing the game bottom, but tower is going to go down. Let's see how long he can survive. Oh, wow, huge crit. 520. He's going to just demolish Venomancer. Nicely done. The team is reinforced. Oh, this come down from Omni Knight. Now they're just trying to clean up everybody. Everybody is going down. Look at all the sheeps and everything. Or all the disables at least. Let's see if she does indeed actually have 2 sheeps. He simultaneously sheep 2 people. Shout out to TC from on a Shadow Shaman right there. But nicely done. This is going to be it. Going out with a gust. And that is going to be that. But who, if you had to, Cap, MVP.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Team Fire has just played so well. Every single one of their players has been controlling games so incredibly well. Clutch ultimates by Repel, Omni Knight. But, I don't know, I think I have to get a Shadow Shaman with some great initiations, knowing when he can blink in and when he can't. I don't know, Chappie, what do you think?
No, I actually do agree. I was going to say Shadow Shaman as well. He held his lane down beautifully early game. He did not actually die until there was a nice gank there. He kept him down. His play throughout the entire game has been spot on. So I would go ahead and give Shadow Shaman played by TC, MVP of this game, no doubt. But again, join us, Dota2replays.org/live. Check out those trying to get those beta keys. And let me see if I'm missing anything. Oh, we're going to have the next game, like I said, is going to be between either Isahara or what did I say? I said or Dignitas. So you don't want to miss that, boys and girls. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Commercial.